Hey everyone, it's time for episode 25 of A Shot of Business Central and a Beer. In this month's episode, we're still bringing you the latest Business Central news. We'll be joined by Stacy Lingenfelter, who is an associate partner and director of ERP systems at Go2 Partners. We'll be taking a look at Job Whip and Business Central, and we'll be discussing some new upcoming Business Central apps. My name is Michael Introvertolo, aka the person who coined the phrase, "The greatest power in business is the magnificent power we all can possess, the power of Business Central." As always, I'm joined by the man who realizes that turning your ankle still hurts like hell, no matter if you're a Business Central superstar or not, Mr. Ken Sebahar.
Hey, Michael, how you doing? Happy to join you as always here, and on this special day in particular. Not only first and foremost, it's your birthday.
Oh, it is.
So happy birthday!
Thank
Another
you so
year, another year wiser.
Yes, very true, 100%.
And it also, not only if that's not good enough, it's also your work anniversary.
Yep.
7 years.
7 years.
Congratulations! You're officially a veteran.
Yeah.
Now at this point, I think.
I still remember on my 1 year anniversary, you called me up and you're like, "You made it a year. You're here for life."
And it may have taken me a couple of years to realize this, but you know, it seems like you started working here on your birthday.
Yeah, I did. Same day. Go figure, right?
And it's still the same day.
Yeah, it's not going to change.
So yeah, happy birthday to you, and also welcome, Stacy. We're so thrilled to have you with us today.
Yes, welcome, Stacy.
Thank you for having me. Longtime fan, guys. Big fan.
Thank you so much. Stacy was actually nice enough to go out and get the same exact beer that Ken and I will be drinking today. It's a beer by Pipeworks Brewing Company. Now, Stacy, I think you said before we were chatting that you have not tasted this beer before. Is that true?
I have not tasted this beer. It looks very interesting. Very interesting.
Nice.
What's your usual go-to beer? Are you a beer drinker?
Oh, I am very much a beer drinker. However, I am the standard Miller Lite kind of girl. I recall from the last podcast that Michael was not aware of the calories. They are 96, and there is 3.2 carbs in a Miller Lite.
Really?
Yes, for your reference for the future.
Wow. I'll tell you what, those carbs make all the difference in the world after you try that non-alcoholic beer from the last podcast.
I bet they do.
Although Ken was a big fan.
I'd much rather have a Miller Lite, actually.
So this month we are drinking, like I said, a beer from Pipeworks Brewing Company. So let's get a little bit of background on Pipeworks Brewing Company. They're established in Chicago in 2012 by a couple friends who shared a dream of crafting quality and creative beers. Let's see what else we got here. What's interesting about this brewing company is in Illinois and in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and Madison, Wisconsin, they self-distribute their own beer, but they use different distributors for other breweries nationwide.
So, different like rules by state or something, maybe, on who can distribute.
Yeah, but I went on their website. Kind of a weird website. You think you'd go on a brewing company's website and there would be a tab or something on the ribbon that said beers. There's nothing. I had to go into the ordering tab and pick like a style of how I wanted to pick it up and then see the list of beers. And they have 317 total beers. But this particular beer, and I don't know if, Stacy, you go out on beeradvocate.com at all, but this particular beer has no ratings, no nothing on beeradvocate.com. So I don't know if it's a brand new beer or whatnot, but I got lucky finding it at the first store I went to.
Well, I'm going to crack it open and take a pour here. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh.
All right.
Looks like a hazy IPA at first, kind of brown.
Yeah.
And
kind of looks like apple cider.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yes.
Smells like apple cider?
It does.
It looks like it.
Well, it smells fruity,
Yeah.
and the can has a bunch of cartoon characters on it, little people that are in the shapes of strawberries and bananas. So it says it's an oat ale with strawberries, bananas, and milk sugar.
The can kind of reminds me of like a 70s cartoon or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. The commercial for the movies, you know, where the little
Yeah.
concession commercial where they
Right,
Oh,
at the
yes.
drive-in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
exactly. All right, let's take a sip here and see what we got.
Taking a sip. Oh, that's different.
Oh, that's really different.
It's got a little like sour, right? Like a little bit of sourness on it.
Yeah.
I agree. It's from I think the strawberry. It's not bad, but it's like the third sip, right? That's what they say. The first one's always the best.
Yeah, or
Yeah, I'm not getting that. I thought like the in the aroma, I got more like of the bananas, maybe.
I'm not getting any oat, I don't think.
Yeah, it's kind of it says that's like a more sour
You know,
than a bready flavor.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Which is always a good thing when you're picking out a beer.
8% alcohol,
That's
And-
always good.
and it's in a pint, the 16-ounce can.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Stacy, I think that's almost like 2.5 Miller Lights.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I better not drink too much before I start talking, huh? Good thing I didn't have one before.
Yeah. But yeah.
Good though.
So this might sneak up on you a little bit if you're not
Yeah.
careful.
I mean, you know what? It's a little bit of a different change. It's funny because this beer and that other one that we had, that milkshake one, judging by the names and the look of the cans and whatnot, I thought I was going to absolutely hate them. You know, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean?
what an endorsement.
Well, it's personal preference, right?
It's not that bad, says Michael Intramartello.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Did you notice it's a label on the can? It's actually like a printed label.
Oh,
Maybe
look at that.
Maybe Go-To Partners can sell them the labels.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, so you can just buy a boatload of these just aluminum cans and slap a different label on it.
I love how the
That's what it looks like,
specialist.
yep.
I love how the specialist from Go-To Partners notices it, and we had no idea.
Of course.
She's looking at labels produced by
Uh-huh. I'm gonna send this in.
It's not bad. So should we do an early rating and then maybe rate it again after it kind of gets a little bit more warm, or
It's up to you. You ready? I say let's wait. Let's hold
wait.
off. Yeah, need
all
to
right.
evaluate a little longer here.
Reminds me of like a pina colada type of a vibe or something.
So it's
you
kind
know
of
what
like
I
a
mean?
mixed drink, the fruity, the
Yeah, like
strawberry.
I could
banana.
put a pineapple in this and be okay.
Yeah.
You know, an umbrella.
Yeah.
So let's see what else we got then for it. I don't know if I mentioned this company makes 317 total beers.
Wow.
The name of the beer we haven't actually said is Groove Grove. It's an oat ale with strawberries, bananas, and milk sugar. It's a pale ale American.
317 beers. Wow. Maybe
It's a lot of beers.
pick a lane.
Yeah. They want to keep their craft status.
Maybe they have produced 317 beers like over the course of their.
I'll tell you what, when I went on the website and actually found where you can order the beers, there was a lot of beers. And the description for this one was, for the first time, we've brewed a beer with bananas. Groove Grove is a smooth and creamy blend of strawberries and bananas. The fruit duo seriously dances and swings through each sip. The fresh strawberries pop up front, and then the banana flavors swoop in for a seriously tasty finish.
Yeah, so I remember now. I know where I've heard of Pipeworks. They make a beer called Lizard King,
Never heard
and
of it.
it's like a pale ale. That I've had one of them. I've had that a few times before.
Have you ever heard of Pipeworks, Stacy?
I have not. This was an interesting find when I saw it. So when I asked my husband, can you go find this? He was like, I've never seen that before. So as I mentioned to Michael, he had to go to several places to find it. So
Yeah.
I feel bad.
no, it's good.
And now you guys got 7 more cans, so hopefully you like it.
We do. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad. It's really carbonated. Like it's
It
just
is.
consistently bubbling there. So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely reminds me more of a mixed, like fruity drink than an actual beer for some reason.
And I think you prefer, at least I know you prefer more carbonated to less carbonated.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
definitely.
Yeah.
So not that bad. I can't remember what I paid for a 4-pack. I don't know if it was $12 or $15. So kind of comparable.
You get 8% alcohol. You get your
yeah. It's a big
kind of your money's worth there.
Yeah, for sure. It's not too bad. But enough with the beer.
Yeah, let's get
special
learn more about Go-To Partners.
Yeah. So, like we said earlier, we've got Stacy Lingenfelter here from Go-To Partners. So, Stacy, you want to maybe give us a little bit of a background on, who is Go-To Partners and, how long they've been using Dynamics Nav for and whatnot?
So, Go-To Partners is truly an amazing place to work. We've been in business since 1995. Go-To is an ESOP company, and our ownership culture kind of creates this family-like environment. So everybody's always encouraging everybody and supporting one another. We have 11 offices now. Ken, I don't know if you know this, but we recently opened our latest office in Viva Las Vegas. So this just happened. Yes, it's very exciting stuff. We have a whole group of talented people. It's hard to say what we do exactly. So it's more like the easiest way to describe it would be we identify customer challenges and then build a solution to address those challenges. So our services range from marketing to warehousing to technology solutions, supply chain solutions. Obviously, we sell labels as well, as I mentioned. We offer a really broad spectrum of services. So like I said, it's easier to list what we don't do than what we do. So
yeah, sounds like definitely a lot of things.
Yeah, it seems like it's really evolved over the years, right? From I think we started using Dynamics back in around 2007, I believe.
So in 2007, we started looking for a new ERP system, and then we actually implemented NAV in 2008.
Okay.
So, and we've worked with SSI since then. Even when we were looking, SSI was the first partner that came in to work with us to show us the solution. And obviously, we're very thankful we made that choice because as we've grown and expanded, it's proven to be invaluable to us with the vast variance of our different needs as they've come up. And we've never run into a roadblock once that we couldn't achieve something we wanted to in the program. So it's been awesome for us, I have to say. And SSI is awesome as well.
Yeah, and I think that's a real testament to NAV and now, of course, the newest versions of Business Central, because of the breadth of the product, right? It's like, you're like, oh, hey, we just expanded internationally. Can we do multi-currency? And it's like, yeah, that's standard functionality. Or hey, we just started doing this. Can we do that? Yeah, and it's like, it has a really good breadth of functionality that allows you to do different types of processes, right?
Yeah, it's very robust. We've went from a printing company and we've now taken on all these other services that we're doing. And we've been able to find a way to customize or do an add-on or we'll work with Armella. Armella is our developer, obviously, you know that from SSI, to just come up with creative solutions on how we can achieve whatever thing we need to do.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So I feel kind of bad also because I should have asked you first to give us a little bit about your background on, what you do and who you are. So maybe you want to tell the listeners about that?
So my background as far as Go-To Partners is I started working there in 2001, which was prior to us implementing NAV. And during that time, I kind of took the challenge of developing and implementing procedures for the current ERP system as far as the administration and end user functions. So I was trying to define best practices and to reduce errors that were happening. During that time, we went through an acquisition. And after the data conversion was when we realized that the ERP system we had was not going to cut it. So that's when we started looking at NAV and we looked at a few others and ended up, like I said, in 2008, implementing Navision 5.0. And myself, we acquired a few more companies and then I've just evolved into this role of managing our ERP system and all the different technologies that are currently connected to it. So Right now, I think we're running about 9 different platforms that we are integrated with, and we're currently looking to integrate more. So we've got all these various technology elements that we're connecting to, and we've grown and grown and grown, and now I'm directing all the little pieces that connect.
It's amazing. So when you first started at Go-To Partners, did you ever think that your role would evolve into being the ERP or director of ERP systems?
I did not. I started there doing inventory.
Oh,
So
nice.
It's a little crazy what has happened there. So just from isolating the issues and trying to do best practices, I started just really getting into the system. Our old ERP system was SQL as well, so it made it a little easier to get the information out of. So
it's great.
Yep.
True American story, I guess, right? Climbing.
It is. Yes, climbing up the ladder. Yep.
So I don't know if Ken wants to take one, or you want me to jump in.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I've got. Yeah.
All right. So what then, I guess, would be like your general perspective on Nav, or your thoughts on Nav? Maybe you got some favorite features. Maybe there's something you like. Maybe there's something you really don't, you really don't like about Nav.
I don't. So. There's nothing I don't like about Nav. So Nav is like my child. It's actually a joke around the office. So I know it sounds funny, but I've literally feel like I've watched it grow up from a little baby, and I'm really protective of it. But if you can imagine taking something and adding all these customizations and just finding all these different ways to turn it into something that can almost seems like magic happening. As you got, automating something and the process, and watching somebody having to take 20 steps to do something, only having to take 2. So I love the flexibility of it. It's such an easy program to work with.
Yeah, that's a great analogy too, right? Like a kind of raising a child from, a child to being a teenager and then into an adult. You get to see all the different forms and shapes and how it takes shapes. It's pretty good.
I think that's really important too, just from if there's people out there that maybe they're like looking at implementing a new ERP, right? Or looking at implementing Business Central to understand that, when you implement and you go live, that you need it to do the required functionality that you need it to do, but then you plan on having it, it's going to develop over time, and you're going to add more features, add more functionality, maybe build more reports, that it does evolve. It's not like a static,
scalable.
A static system that just you implement it, it does what it does, and that's it, right?
Grows as you grow.
Yeah, and Microsoft obviously puts in new features and betters the features that are currently there, and it's always evolving, always getting better, always new capabilities are coming out with it. So I love it.
Have you seen the newest version of it, Business Central? And if you have, are you a fan?
I've looked at some things. I've had a couple conversations with Ken about it. Upgrading is definitely on our radar. The leap to Business Central is a little scary. I think Ken referred to it as jumping into a pool that you think is cold. But it's exciting. So with the new plugin functionality and the promise of that less evasive future upgrades. So for us, obviously, lots of customizations. So we get a little nervous when it comes time to upgrade. But I think there's a lot there for us in the future as far as new capabilities. So I'm pretty excited about it.
I think that's the general consensus with everybody who has to make the leap from Nav to Business Central. Everybody's kind of a little worried, a little scared. Like you said, customization's got to be apps and whatnot, depending on the version. But
yeah, and there's options like of which version of Business Central you're going to go to if you're on premise, right? Or do you continue to go on premise, or do we move to the cloud? Yeah. The online version, there's all these decisions that have to be made. But after you jump in the pool, and after that initial shock, then before you know it, you're swimming around free and easy.
Yeah, just keep swimming. Absolutely.
Stacy, do you have any lessons or tips for anybody who's new to Nav or Business Central? Anything that you can
So
come out with?
I would say the one thing that I very much remember from when we originally went to NAV, when we converted the software, was we tried to make things like our old software. So we were changing it so that it would be easier transition for the end user. So my advice would be when you're converting from another solution to NAV, don't make decisions so that it looks or works like the old software. It might seem like a good idea to make that transition easier for the end user, but it's really no reason to change the functionality. You are getting rid of that software for a reason, and the users will transition to it really easily. And we saw that especially when we went from Classic to the role tailored client, where we didn't make changes. It was so smooth. It's just people are so scared when they change. Just have them roll with it, and they're gonna love it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's just
yeah.
nature.
Most people adapt, and I think that the trend is that more and more people, I mean, adapt easier and easier. It seems now, where even now with the newest releases of Business Central, people, a lot of people always said that, well, we want to use it out of the box and we don't want to customize it. But we're actually seeing that in action now, where people are doing that and they're adapting to it. And I don't know if it's just because of the pace of technology and they're used to learning a new app every day on their phone, I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing.
Or it's so feature packed that, I mean, everything's
True.
there.
Yeah, I could see it doing that too.
Easy, big fella.
I mean, though, like the point of NAV, right? I mean, the point from what my perspective was, if somebody who bought NAV was because you kind of wanted to customize it and tailor it to fit your company and do what you wanted it to do.
Right.
It's one of the great things about it.
Right.
I mean,
it is.
You don't really hear too many people running out of the box NAV, right?
No, there's usually, it always has been a real sweet spot is where, there's companies out there and they've been looking at ERP for a while, at new systems, and they do something that's unique, that, well, we do this, or we do these two different things that we can't seem to find in one system. And we've looked at all these different systems. And then with NAV or Business Central, it's like you're able to develop it to fit that one major uniqueness or something that you have.
Yep.
And then everything else, right, is vanilla.
Right.
I
don't think I've ever heard of anybody saying, "Oh, I really wish we didn't have these customizations and we were just running it out of the box." Could you imagine using your software, Stacy, with no customizations, no nothing? It might be
I cannot. It would seem so tedious to do so many things that we've, automated to process. So, but I can say we have changed some things that we initially programmed to work a different way. We've changed it back to how it originally was because we realized it worked better how Microsoft had originally designed it. So we've had a couple, bumps and bruises along the way, but we've learned a lot. Yeah.
You live and you learn.
Yep.
Definitely. Got anything else you want to?
Yeah, I mean the one question that I had from your role internally, I guess just speak to like on a day-to-day basis, just what are some of the ways that you help go-to partners run and operate Dynamics successfully, right? And like, how do you interact with users, or how does that process work to make sure that all your end users are happy?
So at this point, we have an actual team. So it's a group of 4 of us. I would say 5 if we include Armella. But we are, we're constantly maintaining, going through, just designing, developing the different integrations we have. I still, because I've been there for so long and I've been there since our inception of NAV, I literally still today was answering questions about inventory. So my day-to-day is still just like it used to be. I have the same interaction with end users, helping them to solve some business problem that they have, how they can do it in Nav. We are literally every day doing some sort of customization, and I'm not even kidding. So we are just consistently, and we use Jet Reports and Power BI. So we're constantly building reports. Like I said, there's 4 of us at this point that are working in there. Customers, we help them as a service doing data mining on their information that's in our ERP system and helping them make decisions. So we are just all over it. Put it that way, if I could say it like that. We are just in there and making the magic happen.
Yeah, it's almost like a blessing and a curse, right? At times where, like, let's say, a user comes up to you and says, hey, I'd really like, if we could move this field over here, right? That would really help me out a lot. And then, you go do it and you come back 15 minutes later and you're like, hey, check that out. And right. And it was like so seemingly easy that just opens the floodgates of requests for you.
Well, that was the beauty of personalization. I didn't have to do that anymore because they were able to move it themselves.
Yes.
But I know what you're saying about, like, they want to add this column or that column or that column. And then they're like, oh, there's so many. And it's like, again, you can personalize that and you can move things around. I hope to God Business Central is like that. I haven't looked into that, but
you're gonna love Business Central.
Okay. Is there drop and drag? Okay, that is the one feature I do have to say I don't like when you're personalizing and you have to use the up and down button. So do we have drop and drag yet?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
When you personalize a page, right?
Yes.
You can drag columns around to move them in order. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
I don't know about now, but
yeah, right. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, I miss that because Classic you used to be able to move things around. So I miss that.
there's still I think like at this point with Business Central. There's, with all the new technology, I mean, now you can run it on your iPhone or Android tablet or whatever. Mm-hmm. So there's a huge technological shift that got done. And I would say that like 98% of all the things that you at any point could do, you now can do from personalizing it in terms of dragging columns around, expanding the width of the columns.
Yep.
Choosing.
How about, is that on the web, like the web interface as well? You can do that?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, on premise it's virtually.
Yeah, I mean, in the newest release, it's all web client. It's all, they call it the modern client, and it's all, whether you're running it on your phone or your Windows 10 machine, it's the same user interface, really.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so that's something even more so to look forward to.
It's a next generation software in the now.
Look at this guy.
It's perfect, man.
It's a beautiful thing.
All right. Well, all right. We don't want to keep you too much longer. So if Ken doesn't have any more questions, we can jump into the rapid shot, and then we want to get your review of the beer.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So it's 5 yes or no questions. I'll pay my homage to Dave from Barstool Sports. Everybody knows the rules, as he says. So here we go. Number 1, are you a fan of artificial intelligence within ERP software?
But of course, yes.
Do you use Microsoft Teams?
I do not, no, except for this call.
Oh. Number 3, are you related to John Lingenfelter of Lingenfelter Performance?
I am not, but I do wish I was related to the Lingenfelter Corvette guy. But go ahead.
That's the guy. Yep.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah,
that's him. No, I'm not, unfortunately. Maybe somewhere in my lineage, but no, not that I'm aware of.
Number 4, do you think on-premise software is more secure than cloud software?
I have to say, yes, I do.
And 5, so last but definitely not least, I can't talk, is Microsoft Dynamics Nav, which is now also known as Business Central, the most versatile, scalable, easy to use, fastest, and most productive ERP software available?
Yes, it is. It's magical. Woo!
All right. Yay. Oh, great. Well, you successfully did the rapid fire question segment, so now all that's left is the beer. Tell us what you think, and give us a rating on the scale of 0 to 100. I think we do below 50. You can't drink a glass.
I'll start. How about I start?
Going. All right.
I don't want Stacy to have to go first.
Put the pressure on me. Go ahead.
Right,
Go ahead, Ben.
So my rating system, 0 to 100. 50 means that below 50 means I'm probably not going to have another one.
Right.
Over 50 to 100 as I will. So I am exactly sitting on top of the fence right now because I kind of like it, but it has there's a sourness to it, and I'm not a fan of sour beers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 50.
Oh, that's a lot lower than I thought you'd go.
Yeah.
Would you prefer me to go next, Stacey, or you want to jump in?
I can go. So I have to say, I don't hate it, which I was really surprised. I thought I was going to hate it. The only thing I don't like, and I don't know if you guys will agree with this, is it kind of leaves a palate in your mouth of a banana. Like, I don't know. There's like a little bit of a gritty thing going on. I don't know. But I don't hate it. So if I had to say, will I drink another one? So 50 was the rating. I would say 60. So I'll probably drink another one.
I'm way out of the park here now. So me, I look at this as a beer that would kind of maybe replace wine and like a wine tasting with cheese. You know what I mean? You know, for the Kentucky Derby, you've got your hat on, very gentlemanly like, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go 75. I could definitely drink a couple of these on like a nice day. To me, it's a very light beer, maybe almost too carbonated though, or maybe that's just the oats talking. But yeah, I'm gonna go 75.
There you go.
So.
See, I don't drink wine, so maybe that's why I don't.
Yeah, I really don't either, but I just kind of picture wine and cheese for some.
Yeah, I haven't done a statistical analysis, but I'd have to say you're a higher grader than I am. Would you agree?
Probably.
Generally?
Yeah, but you're also a more seasoned beer drinker than I am.
I don't know. We've been at this for like 2 years now.
Yeah, but I literally, the only time I drink alcohol is during the podcast. So once a month, you know. And before the podcast, I never really drank beer. It was always, if I had a drink, it was more like a mixed drink. You know what I mean?
You've come a long way, kid.
Yeah. Yeah, especially since I didn't like that non-alcoholic beer, which was...
Now you're drinking banana strawberry oat ales.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
My beer can's got an umbrella in it.
With milk sugar. The milk sugar is still a little...
Lactose? Is that the word?
I don't know.
Oh, lactose? Yeah. I'm not lactose intolerant, so we're okay.
There you go.
All right. Well,
all right.
We appreciate you taking the time, joining us on our podcast. It's been a lot of fun, and you know, thanks for all the insightful tips and whatnot. We truly appreciate it.
And I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Thank you, Stacy. All right.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Talk to you soon. Bye.